We've got another new game today. Gamefly sent me Scars Above, and I know absolutely nothing about it, so I figured let's just go into it blind and see if it was worth the rentals. So I'll let a few people come in so we can watch the intro movie together, and then we'll figure out what the heck is this game and what's it all about. We are, I think, we're what 2-3 weeks into Lent, but we're not even close to the end, right? We've still got another 3 weeks, 4 weeks of Lent. So hope those Lenten challenges are still going well for everyone. Swaddle is here. Let's crack open a new game. You know, I'm not sponsored by GameFly, but I wish I was because I have nothing but great things to say about them. The ability to grab tons of new games every single year for such a cheap price. Like, I've played so many games that I would never have played because for $70 you have to be really picky, but when it's basically free, you just grab whatever you want. Like, I would have never tried Fire Emblem, which I'm glad that we rented because I ended up returning that one day after playing it because it was awful. So I'm very, very happy that Gamefly still exists. Dragon Ghost is here. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you doing, Dragon? Is it still snowing? I made zucchini fritters yesterday since no meat. You and Emmy need to make them. So Emmy really needs to make them. I will have you know I have cooked for myself the last 2 days, so I am getting better. Slowly but surely getting better. Let's take some of this light down. This light's so bright. Maybe... There we go. There's no snow anymore? That's good to hear. Good to hear. Alright, so what... Let's just put it on normal difficulty and figure out what the heck this game is. So pasta and eggs and hot dogs is all you've been eating?
Log. Mission Specialist Kate Ward.
I won't say you're wrong.
Assessment and response team. We always wondered if we're alone in the universe. We observed and explored, but found nothing. Until now.
Voice acting isn't bad so far.
Scar Mission Control to Hermes. Status check.
All systems nominal. We're working on a solution for our scan power requirement.
Made barbecue chicken for your boyfriend?
Roger that, Hermes. Keep us posted.
Emmy finally found some sugar-free barbecue sauce that's so good. I gotta tell you, it's so nice to
With
have
the scan?
barbecue sauce again.
Underestimated the power requirements necessary to penetrate the metahedron's hull. Mike has an idea.
The metahedron.
Give us a hand. He's in the lab and I'll give you the details.
On my way.
Alright, so voice acting's not bad. It looks pretty good so far. That's promising. Gotta talk to Mike in the lab. But first we gotta look at...
Tim was lucky that Robinson interrupted us. I was on the verge of
checkers, some sort of space checkers. What game is this? This is Scars Above. It is a new game that came out. I know absolutely nothing about it, though. I just randomly said, sure, let's rent that, and they sent it to me, so... I don't like the clunky camera in that first-person weird mode.
It has been 6 months since the alien object known as the metahedron suddenly appeared above Earth's atmosphere. The Hermes mission is currently making preparations to engage with it.
It's super laggy. I don't know if that's because it's remote play or what, but it is super laggy. Like, my controls are slow and terrible. If you were to say Alien, I would say nope and leave. I have considered they made Alien Isolation, the horror game, in VR, and I've thought about playing it in VR, but it seems like too much for my heart. That seems genuinely terrifying.
We still have those SLD-26 welders in the equipment room?
Yeah, I think we have one or two, but why do you... Oh! You want to modify...
I don't know what the heck is going on here. Like,
And you call me brave.
controller like loses
Oh,
tracking
boy.
or just randomly has a mind of its own? Again, I can't tell if that's lag or what, but it is terrible, terrible controls. I would get a heart attack just by watching someone play it. I was talking to Emmy about getting the PlayStation VR 2 because they've got a new remastered Resident Evil 4 in VR, and it is just excellent. Skyrim in VR is pretty good too, but it is scary. Like, VR makes everything scarier because you never know what's behind you. Like, you feel so immersed in it. Alright. Okay, so game crashed. So we're not off to a great start for the game. Which is, it's shocking because I'm trying to think of how many PlayStation 5 games have genuinely crashed. And I think this is the first one that has genuinely crashed. Like, that is not a good look in 2023. Did I ever finish Choo Choo Charles? I mean, basically, I just have to go collect the last, like, couple quests and then I'm done. So I'm really close to the end. I would love Skyrim, but I get so scared just from the bears attacking you. Oh, it's super creepy in VR. Not just the bears, but like when people come up behind you, or like spiders come down from the ceiling. The spiders coming down from the ceiling is the absolute worst. I genuinely can't tell if this is just the game is broken or if for some reason the internet is just super laggy.
I think I figured out.
Alright, we already talked to that dude.
26 welders in the equipment room.
Yeah, I think we have one or two, but
Why do you... Oh! You want to
Let's open this. I need a PC so I can cheat to kill all the things.
You call me brave. Oh boy.
Alright. We've got a welder.
I need to craft a rail module.
This feels very reminiscent of Dead Space. Got your welding gun. You're in space. We're gonna craft something.
There. It should be strong enough to direct and focus the electrical current.
I'm excited for the Elder Scrolls 6 when and if that ever happens. I really want to play that, but I doubt we're going to get it anytime in my lifetime because it's been forever and a half. And there's just not a whole lot of information on it still.
Now to fit all this together.
Hope it comes out soon. I don't think it will, honestly. I think we're still pretty far away
Power
from it.
source. I have to adjust the frequency of the Tesla coil first.
I think they're remaking Oblivion. I would play a remade Oblivion. Or Morrowind. I'd be very happy with Morrowind too, but... This is like unplayably bad with these controls. I don't know what the heck is going on. This should not be this difficult.
I see Mr. Jefferson is in the lab today.
yeah, I never leave my home planet without him.
Alright, adjust the wavelengths. We've seen this before. This is a mini game that's been in a few games. I heard rumors about them doing this. I don't know if it's true or not. I would love it, honestly. I would be very happy if they're remaking Oblivion. My sister's been playing through Skyrim since she was like 10. She would go through the whole game, just kill everyone in towns, and everyone come across. It was literally like a ghost game. You go Whiterun, just no one put cards. That sounds like a fun game to do. The a ghost town playthrough where you can kill every single character that's killable. I've never tried that before.
There. Now just to calibrate the output voltage.
What is this? Am I playing Pong?
That looks like a
She's special.
Nothing else. It's a vectorized energy rail accelerator, discharging electrical...
Vera. Let's call it Vera for short.
You sure like to name things.
Alright, I've got my blaster. Let's go shoot some aliens, right? Go to the engine room and boost the reactor's energy. Alright. I need to do Fallout 4 again, but with mods, because I know that they've done, like, made a whole new game out of all the mods.
What's the best way to power it with extra energy?
See the 3 positronic nodes surrounding the core?
So I'd like to experience it again.
Yes, keep it up.
As a modded game. What the heck is going on with these controls? This is just awful.
Almost there. We need a little more energy for the reaction. Huh. Let's try a direct shot to the core. Straight to the heart.
Well, that doesn't sound dangerous at all.
A direct shot to
Plan on
the
leveling up your sneaking and archery to assassinate guards.
It's working. I'm feeding the excess power directly to the scanner.
I haven't seen you shoot like this since the college rifle championship.
Yeah, I also remember you taking first place from me.
And don't you forget it.
Good job. Dr. Ward, Dr. Yoshida, get to the bridge, please. Time to see what's inside our alien guest.
Alright, we've powered up the engine core, but there's too many characters, so we know something catastrophic has to happen.
She served her
We have to
purpose.
lock up our special guns so that we're, not too overpowered when the aliens invade. Gotta make sure our weapon's far away from us before the horrible stuff happens.
Telemetry check.
Telemetry check. We're go.
How are we doing with that sensor array, Mike?
We're ready, Commander.
I got the Master Criminal achievement in Skyrim. What is the Master Criminal achievement?
Start the scan.
Excess energy seems to have done the trick. The array is locked on the metahedron and operating at almost 200% of its standard efficiency. Say the word, Commander.
In just a moment, Dr. Ward. Team, can I have your attention, please?
We're about to make history, so we need the inspirational speech.
Since the dawn of humankind, our species has gazed toward the skies and wondered whether we were truly
You have to get 1,000 or more bounty in each hold.
6 months ago, we got our answer. And with it came new questions. What is this object in front of us? Where did it come from? Who sent it? And why? While the governments, leaders, thinkers, and common people discussed the meaning of this event, we were training. We were preparing.
Thank you for giving me a new challenge.
Now,
I'm sure there's a lot of interesting challenge modes that people have made for Skyrim. Iron Mans and different things to keep it fresh and interesting since they're refusing to give us a new Elder Scrolls.
minds, with courage and resolution, with trust.
Do Skyrim and just do a challenge run where you try and do all the fun things.
We're going to give the world their answers. And in this
I know there's a
historic
lot of
moment
Skyrim that I haven't seen yet, because I pretty much just played through the main story and a few side quests.
There's
So.
no people I'd rather face the unknown with.
it's supposed to be a rare achievement because not many people have gotten it.
Let's do
That could be a weird challenge run. Do Skyrim and do like a full achievement run, try and unlock everything.
Scared?
Of course I am.
I thought you army pilots were trained not to be.
We're trained to control it. The fear keeps us sharp.
This dialogue is very
Oh, I'm 100% sharp, alright.
mid-tier. The fear keeps us sharp.
So, do you think it's a weapon?
Well, a weapon is a very human concept. Perhaps what we perceive as a weapon is just a tool. Wait. Scan. The mid-level.
Sensors offline.
My sister got that achievement from killing all the townsfolk.
Look. The metahedron, it's creating some sort of a gravity well.
The Hermes is being pulled towards it.
Hang on, everyone.
They got us in a tractor beam.
Dr. Ward. Kate!
Okay. It's weird to see this game is built with load screens in it. Because, like, once again, what is this, 2002? Like, load screens? Everyone's figured out how to make games without load screens now, and with, like, hidden load screens and things like that. Why do we have load screens?
Commander Robinson? Tam? Mike? Anyone? Where are you? What is this place?
What? That... Did something just happen? Like, I wasn't here before. That cutscene was, like, in a totally different location, right? Like, it just jumped ahead to some random place. Like, I'm not wrong, right? The place she was just, like, doing this thing in was, like, a cave, and now I'm just, like, out in the open? That was jarring. Invisible walls, that does not bode well.
Who was that? Where am I?
Maybe they're new developers? I don't know who. Like I said, I have known nothing about this game, so...
Wait!
Did they crash? It seems like they crashed. I thought she was in a cave too, yeah. I don't know what just happened there, to be honest. I feel like they're trying really hard to be Tomb Raider right now.
How is this possible? What planet is this? Did the metahedron bring us here?
Okay, we looked at the metahedron. Man, these controls are just unplayable. What's the rating on this game? I have no idea. I like I said, I literally know nothing about it. It was a random game I selected from Gamefly. They sent it to me. I popped it right in. I did no research. I don't even know what kind of game it is, to be honest. We are as confused as the character, yes. Yes, we are.
sort of alien structure.
A new hand touches the beacon. Seven out of 10 on Steam? That seems generous so far. Escape the mysterious storm. 65% on Open Critic. Some sort of ominous spire. Or is that an enemy too? It came out February of this year? Okay, so it's still fairly recent.
Where am I? What was that creature?
Scar emergency signal detected.
A Scar emergency signal. It must be someone from the team. I have to get to them.
Oh man, is this gonna be... Is this gonna be a Dark Souls-like game? Refill health and limited ammo, but also respawns enemies. Remove batteries will not appear. So we've got to activate the fire camp things. This game's starting to confuse me and I haven't played it so long. That's about where I'm at.
The debris, it's from the Hermes. It must have splintered off when the ship entered the atmosphere.
Okay, we'll grab some armor.
Backpack. Empty, but still useful.
And a sword? I guess, a machete? Electric machete? There's clearly a machete in there. Give it to me, thank you.
Even the toughest materials. I'd better take it with me.
I'm just gonna go with they crash the ship. Open your inventory, select an item to... Okay. Swamp vines. Alright, we'll smack the spider thing and scan it.
Log entry. A joint-legged invertebrate life form, similar to arachnida. Fast movement, small frame. Seems to move in groups.
I guess I'll collect its fiber. How did she... Okay, so how did she come to the conclusion that it moves in groups when we literally have seen only one and fought only one? And how did she scan it? That is a good question, too. But, like, that doesn't seem very scientist. You literally have fought one. How do we know that they move in groups? There we go. Now there's more of them. Now we can say they move in group. But it seems like a giant jump in conclusions there to make a sweeping statement off of the first thing that you kill. Because logic. I mean, she is the scientist. I'm not a scientist, so who knows?
There's no obvious locking mechanism. Log entry. The gate has an internal conduction system. The 3 points on the rim seem sensitive. A targeted blast of electricity could cause a reaction. There has to be something.
Okay, I know it's game logic, but we're gonna be we're going to pick this apart here. She comes up to this strange doorway and automatically assumes that a blast of electricity should destroy alien technology. How do you draw that conclusion? And two, she says there must be something around here that break that. How do you draw that conclusion? Unless you're aware you're in a video game, there doesn't always have to be a solution to the puzzle nearby, right? Like... Okay, so there's something electric right there.
Log entry. This plant doesn't have any chloroplasts, which means it can't conduct photosynthesis. Strange.
We've got electric extract now. I feel like walking in strange alien water probably isn't a good move either, but... Oh, is that my gun?
Increase the current. Just a bit. We don't want to fry the coil. There. Awesome. We did it.
I remember this. Mike and I were finishing our electrical experiment just at lunch.
Alright, please be my gun. We need a gun. My gun!
It's still intact.
I gotta say, everything about this game feels super dated. Like, we know there's a chest there, and we know that we're gonna pick the item out of the chest. Why do I need a minigame to hover over the locks and pop each individual lock off of the chest? Why can't I just open the chest? Wet combo?
What the hell was that?
Were they even trying? I successfully completed a wet combo on that.
Log entry. Salivary glands concentrated in the head enable the creature to discharge a venomous secretion. Muscular tissue is highly susceptible to fire.
How does she know all that? How does she look at that and say that's susceptible to fire? We shot it with electricity. Don't you have to test something to see if it's... I guess maybe if certain molecular structures you could say it was susceptible to fire, but this is supposed to be alien genealogy that she's never seen before. How would she know that? Also, again, I know it's a video game and I know that I'm just going to pick this apart. Why would ancient aliens who are clearly more advanced than us build technology that is susceptible to a little bit of electricity? Like, we're not that far advanced, but we know to, you know, protect our electrical conduits and not leave them out in the open that they can just be fried like that. So it seems like that's just basic, like, safety. Where's their OSHA that says, no, you can't leave electrical conduits out in the open? Toxicity, okay. I know I'm asking too many questions. Press triangle to heal. Okay. They aren't very smart aliens. That I can feel. Alright, looks like there's stuff over there for me to pick up. Some sort of flare. Let's go. What is this? Some sort of cube?
Log entry. I found a strange alien cube. It's emitting neural waves. This means it has the potential to send information directly to the brain. Another one of these pillars.
I'm about to die, so... Is that plant supposed to explode or something? I have no idea. Dexter's here! Good morning, Dexter. Approach pillars using as respawn points in case you die. Interacting with pillars replenishes your health, ammo, power, stamina, respawns enemies. Okay.
These cables, they're from the Hermes.
Activate the pillar. Made tomato soup. It seems like tomato soup is definitely a staple on Meatless Fridays, so...
Some kind of flesh-like webbing. I have to break through it.
Wait, shouldn't I follow the cables? No, it tells me to go over here. I guess we'll follow the game that's telling us to do this, so let's do this.
Log entry. Strong organic tissue, but the blisters appear to be filled with diethyl ether. Most likely flammable.
Alright, so we gotta find a way to make fire. Oh, we found another cube. Yes. Because advanced alien creatures leave just snippets of their knowledge in the middle of the bog and swamp. That definitely makes sense. What if all of this is in the character's head? That's how she knows a lot, like she made up the whole world? That sounds like just cheesy enough of an ending to fit the writing so far, so you might be onto something. Alright, let's squeeze through the fleshy, weird pods. Let's scan said fleshy weird pods.
This is a biovessel for an indigenous creature. The shell seems highly combustible. It contains an organism that is almost fully formed. I better not touch it.
Okay, so she says we better not touch it. So let's see what happens when we touch it. Well, we learned. I seriously can't play this game with these controls. This is so, like, terribly bad. Like, it's waving all over the place. Like, I don't want to blame the game, because it might just be my internet connection, but, like, it's seriously unplayable. I am happy, though, that something happened, because you know how games are like, oh, don't do this, and then you do it, and then nothing happens? I'm at least happy that, something happened. So...
Some kind of flesh-like webbing. I have to break through it.
I'm very happy that something happened. New Nuzlocke, Temtem. I still don't have Temtem, and I can't buy anything until next month. So... can't be Temtem for a little bit. We've still got Harry Potter to get through. Maybe, I don't know, Scarlet and Violet has something coming out here soon. Maybe I should try and give Scarlet and Violet a real shot here soon. I know there's a huge patch coming to Scarlet and Violet, and I was really hoping that said huge patch would include the ability to shut off battle animations, but that does not seem to be the case. And I was really hoping that the GBA versions would come out, but that didn't happen either.
There just an hour ago. The whole place is covered with...
My attendance next month will be spotty. I'll not be in the country. That's exciting, though, right? You're going to Australia again? Alright, so we can craft something now. So now we need to craft fire.
Richard Robinson, log entry. Ever since I left the Hermes, it's been getting worse. The growth. I have to get it off. I've salvaged some electrical components. I might be able to craft an incendiary device with the MPU. Burn the growth.
So excited. We're going to Australia. Can't wait to meet my nephew and have everyone meet my baby, see everyone again.
We were just there. He sounds different. Enraged.
That does sound fun. And the food. Is that like Vegemite?
Commander Robinson loves this book. Maybe... Yes, I can print a custom emitter with the MPU, connect it with the thermic module, and attach it all to the welder's frame.
Alright, so let's craft... You know, we have some of that here, and it's horrible. Alright, we've crafted a flamethrower now.
This might burn straight through that flesh-like webbing. And I'm taking the MPU.
New personal ability. Spend ability points in xenobiology engineering. As she progresses, she'll unlock new personal abilities. Okay, so we've got... Running on fumes. When a weapon runs out of ammo, 25% of the clip will be replenished after 5 seconds. That's pretty good. Kate manages her backpack. This increases stamina, efficiency, durations of gadgets. Okay, we got some good stuff. And now we unlock the mobile printing unit so we can print stuff. Okay. So how do we switch our ammo type? Oh, okay, there we go. So now we've got fire ammo. Meat pies, this burger joint, pho place, desserts. I'm in a food coma already. That all does sound wonderful. You are absolutely right about that. I love me some pho. Emmy and I are all about the curry right now. We made some curry recently that was absolutely wonderful. So, curry. Meat pie sounds good, though. I would definitely try a meat pie. I want to make marsala so bad. What is marsala? I'm obsessed with the way this Indian place makes it near me. Marsala? Masala? Is that like a tikka masala? I'm pretty sure I've heard of that before. I have no idea what it is, but I'm pretty sure I've heard of it. Alright. Let's burn this down. Yes, that's it. Okay, see? I know some culinary things. Oh, look, another random information cube that someone spread in the swamp. That's convenient. Alright, so we're back to the swamp, so we'll use electricity on them. Pile of bones full of fiber. That's not ominous at all.
How far would you go in the search for answers?
Okay. Now we're hearing voices in our head. It's probably not good. Hold L1 to select a consumable. Okay. Select consumables placed in the quick slot can be used by pressing R1. Uses fiber. Another Salt Lick, welcome in. Welcome in. Hello. Says you're a first-time chatter. How's it going? Man. This lag. I can't even fight the darn thing. There we go. This game looks cool. I don't know about this game so far yet, to be honest. Graphically, it looks great. But there's a lot... Maybe I'm just being too nitpicky. It looks graphically good, but so far everything else is meh. Whoa! Apparently you can get jump scared, though, so... That's pretty cool. I'll take a good old-fashioned jump scare. Alright, so now I'm toxic, so... We need to remove the toxicity with the fiber. Okay. The electric and water really work super well together. That is a super good combo. Was God okay with slavery before Jesus? So, that's a big and complicated context and question, so I'll try and answer it, though. There's a lot of things that happen in the Old Testament that you say, why was God okay with this? When you got slavery, you've got multiple wives, you've got murdering and killing and all these things. And the answer to those things seem to be that God allowed certain things because people's hearts were very hardened and the times were very bad. And when we look at things like... eye for an eye, for example. People hear eye for an eye and they think, well, that's absolutely barbaric. But then you consider back in those times, eye for eye was a revolutionary idea. The idea of just because someone slighted you, you don't get to completely enslave them or murder them because they did one thing against you, but rather a proportional response that if they break your finger, you only break their finger and do no more. That was like a revolutionary concept in kindness for the time. So, okay is a strange word to use there because it's not necessarily that God was okay with it, but rather he understood that for humanity's salvation, certain things had to play out in a certain way, and that people at that time, you can't just revolutionize things overnight, right? You got to build people up in a certain way. If people are used to, slavery and murdering people and multiple wives, you can't just one day come in and say, nope, you're not going to do that anymore. And that's basically what Jesus did, right? Like, Jesus came in and furthered the law and said, I've heard it said to you this, and then made it even more difficult. And you saw the outcome of that, right? Like, they ended up just flat out murdering him because the things he said were so radical for people to take at the time. So I wouldn't say he was okay with it. Rather, he understood that people's hearts were hardened, and due to the time, things had to progress in a very slow way. I mean, we still have slavery to this day, right? Like, we talk about slavery as if it's this far-off thing that doesn't happen anymore, but people are still slaves to this day. Not so much in America unless you count the prison complex, and that's a whole nother conversation. But other places in the world outside of America, someone was saying somewhere, I don't want to say the wrong country, but someone said that there are still like places you can visit that have like open slave markets to this day. Like 2023, you can visit a slave market. So there's definitely still issues people are working past. I think he was okay with slavery. Back then it was okay, but not anymore. again, it just depends on how we're using the words, right? Like, it's kind of like divorce, right? God allowed Moses to allow divorce, and now we can't get divorced. So was he okay with divorce? Well, not necessarily okay, but rather that the people needed it at that time. So accepting that people need something at a certain time, I don't necessarily means that you're okay with it, but understanding that that's what they need, you know? Like the obey your masters and beating your slaves as long as they don't die stuff. It's a whole different world that there's a whole lot of context that goes into it, you know, and I'm not an Old Testament expert, so I couldn't tell you all those different parts of those contexts, but I know that it's not just a simple yes or no. As with, you know, pretty much everything in the Bible is hard to put as a simple yes or no, right? There's so much historical context and so much that goes into... I'm going to get this wrong. I'm going to say 66 books. I'm pretty sure it's more than 66 books written across thousands of years. Obviously, it's not going to be as just simple saying yes or no to this or that, because there's so much that goes into what created this historical book over the course of all these years. All right, this guy... I think he just teleported underwater. I think he was okay with the people owning people as property back then. I mean, I assume that's not what God wants for people. As a God of love, I would assume that he eventually wants people to move away from that, but... I mean, it still happens today, like I said, and even here in America... with the way corporate wages are and the way people are in poverty and the way our prison systems are, it's almost like a different form of slavery. Not nearly as physically intensive, but you're still basically property to people to use. So it's still an ongoing issue that humanity needs to get through. I definitely think humans have some part of the blame, though. Oh! I wonder if I can see, like, where those guys are at in the water, or if it's truly like they just pop out of nowhere. Okay, those didn't respawn. True, at least they aren't allowed to beat us as long as we don't die anymore. I mean, sadly for some people that's not true. We look at what's happening with, like, the police and all that, and it does seem like they're allowed to beat us as much as they want to in certain contexts. No, I'm not necessarily on board with the ACAB. I don't like to make generalized statements against entire things, but it does seem like there is certainly a group of people that have a special privilege to do terrible things to other people. So that is an ongoing issue as well. Alright, I shot one of these little beaver things. And it's just sinking into the world, apparently. So I guess I wasn't supposed to shoot that. Okay, so I'm guessing these things are bad. They don't look good, so let's just blow them up before they have a chance to do anything bad. They should pay cops more. I mean, there's a lot of people, I think, who deserve better wages. Though the big one that, like, comes to mind immediately is someone just made a post about this, which is why it's on the forefront of my mind. But there was a poster board up for, like, jobs, and there was a local gas station that was hiring for $20 an hour for a gas station attendant. And then next to that was a request for people to do EMT services, like ambulance rides and saving people's lives. Obviously, super important job, and that was at $15 an hour. Not to, you know, we're not going to shame someone and say, oh, you're worth less because you're just a gas station attendant. But in what world does a gas station attendant make more money than someone who's medically trained to save people's lives in an ambulance, right? Like, that just seems backwards. And again, no shame to gas station attendants. I definitely think if that's your job, do your job, take the money, take it. But again, EMT saving people's lives versus pumping gas, it definitely seems like the EMTs should be paid more. Same thing with like teachers. Teachers who have master's degrees and make $40,000 or $50,000 a year with a master's degree just seems outrageous. In what world does a teacher make $40,000 a year with a master's degree? Like, that seems horrible. The only one who thinks it's worth it for that low of pay are power-hungry jerk ones. And I mean, that's definitely a part of the problem. I know there's some other systemic issues that come out with the issues, though, where, like, there was some sort of court case, and don't quote me on this 100% because I don't know all the specifics of it, but I remember it coming out that it was argued that they need intelligence tests and stuff for police officers because you can't be too smart and be a police officer. They don't want people who are capable of critical thinking and those sorts of things. They're looking for people who will follow and obey rules, and typically people who think a lot and have critical thinking question those sort of things. And that's not what they want. They don't want people who are thinking these things through. They want people who are following orders. So that's obviously an issue as well. Teachers should definitely get more too. I couldn't imagine dealing with some of those crazy kids and parents. Oh, definitely. And it's only harder, right? It's only getting harder with like the pandemic and dealing with kids who haven't got to be socialized as much because of the pandemic and limited resources. And not to mention basically every teacher I ever knew paid for school supplies out of pocket. They knew that their classroom didn't have enough, so they would go and buy it themselves, even though it cost them out of their pocket. So even if their salary was, 30 or 40K, they're actually making less because they're having to pay out of pocket for all these things for these people. And that's terrible. I was a pre-K teacher, and yes, $17 an hour was not worth dealing with 20 kids and their crazy parents, and I paid for things out of pocket all the time. Yeah, that's just absolute madness to me. $17 an hour to be responsible for the lives of 20 kids and their educations, and you're still buying things. And I appreciate those teachers who bought those things, right? You don't appreciate it at the time, but like the teachers who do like little gift shops or things for good behavior and attendance, and those things really do make you feel special and they're fun and all that, but that's coming right out of their pocket. It's the same thing when like people talk about the kids' pizza parties, where like the pizza was always lame. It was a super cheap pizza that was cut super thin, so there wasn't a whole lot of pizza for everyone. But when you realize like that teacher's probably paying for that pizza out of pocket, like it makes a whole lot more sense why they only bought one, right? How about DeSantis taking away all the books until they're reviewed? I know that DeSantis is Florida, right? Because there's a whole bunch of really strange things going on in Florida right now, without a doubt. Get out of the water. I can't hurt you in the water. Where'd he go? This is really annoying. So I ran out of electric ammo. So he's sitting in the water, which makes him pretty much immune to my fire. So that's really annoying. Alright, let's run back and see if we can get some electric ammo or something, because that's really annoying. I think I saw some back here. Now there's allowing these kids and people in school to go through classrooms and have kids' belongings that have no background checks. Florida is wild down there. Florida is definitely wild. That is not an understatement. There's been a lot of weird things. I know that, was it Florida or someone else was trying to make it like illegal to be a Democrat? Like they were just trying to put it on the ballot that you weren't allowed to vote Democrat. Like they're going absolutely bonkers in Florida right now. There we go. We got some ammo. I went to school in Florida. I could barely read for a while there. That's a whole nother issue, right? An educated population is a population that's hard to control. But like, when I went through college, the statistic they gave us was something like 50 to 60% of Americans cannot read beyond a 4th to 6th grade level, which is just absolutely like bonkers to me. And that's why I know I say this a lot, but like people always ask me, well, you're Catholic, why do you rely on the church to tell you what to believe? Why don't you read the Bible and, figure it out for yourself? And I'm privileged and lucky enough to have that ability to read the Bible and understand it. But when you've got people who can't even read at a 4th grade level who are trying to read and interpret the Bible, like, there's no way that turns out good for them, right? Like, if you can barely comprehend a 4th grade book, how do you expect it to understand the wholeness of the Bible with everything that comes with it, right? Because there's historical context and you've got translation issues, and there is so much to it. So I'm always very skeptical when people are just like, oh, well, I'll just read the Bible and understand it myself. Like, people spend an entire life becoming a masters in 1 or 2 books of the Bible, let alone the entire thing. Like, just reading and understanding the whole thing is a massive undertaking. That's just, quite frankly, I don't think doable for the average person. We used to drink beer, smoke weed with our English teacher at a beach, 16 years old. Never realized how crazy that was until I was older. The whole government can take away your kids, or the parent has received gender-affirming care, which is so poorly written that allows the government to come in, take your kids away if your daughter wants to wear boys' board shorts at the pool, or if your son wants to wear eyeliner and black nail polish because they're emo or goth. Yeah. I do understand that there needs to be laws to protect children. But if you're going to write a law to protect a child, you better make sure that it is super well written, because any and every loophole is going to be exploited, and you know that people are going to interpret however they want to interpret it. Like, you can't afford to have loosey-goosey language and like, oh, well, people know what I mean, right? I don't need to write the law in legalese because people will understand. Like, again, people can't comprehend at a 3rd, 4th grade level. They're going to read that and do whatever they want with it. So no, people can't just be trusted to figure it out. It's crazy the way some of the laws are absolutely written.
He was here. I should look around and try to reconstruct his movement.
Okay, reconstructing. Got a backpack.
Backpack is covered in organic.
Cool talking to you. See you next time. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for hanging out. Hopefully you can join us next time. Thanks for hanging around and the follows and all that, and we'll see you soon.
Robinson must have lost balance and grabbed this rock. Seemed like he had trouble walking. Carnivorous worm-like organisms secreting...
Always great to have new people come in, shake up the chat a little bit. Love it.
Robinson's boot. Apparently he was heading towards the water?
Okay, again, so these people appear to have died going into the water. Like, that's what the water looks like. I can see that water with my eyes. Why are these people walking into the water? Like, if you saw that in real life, in what world would you say, yes, let's go stand in that water? Like, nothing about that screams, walk through me, please. Alright, we've reconstructed him. This game has no logic. Going over here. So yeah, he ran straight into the water.
But pushed himself into the worm-infested water.
And got eaten by worms.
Converged on him. They seemed to fuse with his body. What happened to you, Richard? His signal is on the other side. Somehow he got through the worms. I won't last a moment, but I must find a way across.
Okay. What do we got here? Cryo eggs. Freezing extract, suspended particles of ice can be used as cryo. Oh, I see. I'm going to shoot the water, turn it into ice, and then cross the mutant worms using ice water. What's this?
Log entry. Seems like this part of the structure is the command panel, but I'm not getting any energy readings from it. It must be deactivated.
Alright, what do we got up here? Another
On the gate from this side.
Another gate. Oh, it's a shortcut. Okay. Man. There we go. One more. Shortcut opened, and now we can run back to the start and heal ourselves. Get more ammo. But enemies respawn. Touch the beacon. Like, you would think she'd be fascinated with these beacons, right? Are these beacons a video game mechanic, or are they in the world? Because if she's dying and respawning at the beacons, you would think she would spend more time trying to figure out the beacons that literally grant immortality versus trying to figure out how to cross the Lake of Bloody Worms. Maybe that's just me. Alright, something's gonna pop out of here, right? All that did was hurt me, so that wasn't very fruitful. Does she know she died? I don't think so. There is a game that's kind of like this that's on PlayStation 5 called Returnal that is set as like a roguelite, and that's the whole premise of it, is you're playing as a space person who knows that they're dying and they're trying to get, farther in, so that premise has been done, and I feel like they did it very well. Alright, we've gained more alien knowledge. Again, it's very kind of the aliens to spread their knowledge in a random bog. Very kind of them indeed. This feels like a boss arena. Do we get to fight our first boss? Hitting different parts result in increased, decreased damage, provoke enemy behavior. Some weak points are color-coded. That's very nice of the aliens. Very nice of them to color-code their weak points for us. Alright. First boss fight, here we go. Oh, come on, controller, cooperate. Oh, I just wasted my healing on accident. That's not good. Really not good. Okay, let's try shocking him maybe. The fire seems to have no effect, so... So it started blocking my shots. That's pretty cool. Let's lead it over here. Come over here to the shocky things. Okay, that didn't work. Part of that's not my fault, though. Part of that was the controller just doing whatever it wanted during that fight for some reason. At this point, I really think it's the lag. I don't think it's the game with poor controls. I think I'm just having some sort of lag. I need to replace the Ethernet cable seems to be randomly breaking for some reason on my PlayStation, so I think if I replace the Ethernet cable, it should solve some of these problems, so I will do that today. So I won't blame the game for that. I don't think that that part is the game's fault. There's plenty of other things for me to fault it with. Alright, so we have to find some way to get this guy to expose his chest so I can light him on fire. Also, we should do a new Nuzlocke. I agree, it's probably time for a Nuzlocke. It's been a while since we've done. Lag is killing me on Scarlet and Violet. I don't know. Scarlet and Violet, I so did not enjoy Scarlet and Violet. Like, there were so many things I did not like about Scarlet and Violet. Oh, I blew his rock armor off. That's pretty cool. Maybe Legend Arceus? It's been a while since we've touched Legend Arceus. I enjoyed it a lot, but I'm burnt out on it.
Kate, you can do this.
We got him.
That was
Legend Arceus is a good choice too. We did the Bidoof lock.
of these creatures goes beyond typical territorial behavior.
I haven't touched it since the last raid event. I haven't touched it pretty much since launch day. I know there's DLC coming out for it. It's just without the battle animations, it was too slow, and the leveling just felt terribly slow. I truly just didn't enjoy. Okay, I take that back. I was gonna say I didn't enjoy anything about Scarlet and Violet, but they added Tinkaton, and I absolutely love Tinkaton. So they did at least one thing right. I'm gonna play it today just to get ready for the raid. Oh, if we do Legend Arceus, what should we do? We did the Bidoof run. We did a regular Nuzlocke. What should we do to shake it up again? To do another new Legend Arceus run. Well, that was an anticlimactic way to die. Cricketot only. If I can do it with Bidoof, I can do it with Cricketot. If I don't know, maybe a shiny only run that would require a lot of spending time farming all those things, but shinies do pop up more in that game, so a shiny only run might be interesting. Maybe like a single type? Did we try a single type? Like a rock only, ghost only type? Maybe a single type run? Something like that. So, these controls are getting to me. I truly can't play with these controls anymore. I can't get any farther because they're just too clunky. Again, not the game's fault. I think it's my internet. So, we've passed an hour. I think now is a good time for me to end so I can go fix my internet. So let's do our ending stuff. I think it's a good place to end. First, as always, prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Lord, today we pray for all those who are missing, all the people who have run away from home or for one reason or another have wandered away from home with loved ones who are missing them and worried about them. Lord, bring all the people who have run away or are missing home. Bring all the people who are suffering in the elements, in the rain and the snow and the cold. Bring them shelter and food and kindness and love, Lord. And finally, we pray for those in purgatory, those souls who have no one left to pray for them. Today we remember those who have no one else to remember them. And we ask that in your eternal mercy and forgiveness, you cleanse them of their sin and bring them into your everlasting kingdom of love. All this we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you everyone for joining me today. It was a great Saturday. Wonderful to have you all here. Have a blessed day, and we will see you again on Monday, I think. Yeah, Monday or Tuesday. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you then.